Primordial Earth. This is a series written by, I'm going to assume that's pronounced Baileigh Higgins. And I just got through this one this week, book one of a 9-book series. As you can see, they're also on Kindle. And real quick on the premise here, this is their world and we are the prey. After an unexplained event shifts entire cities millions of years into the past, life becomes a daily struggle for survival. Rogue, tenacious, and fierce has never known anything except a harsh life on the streets of Prime City until she finds herself on the wrong side of the law and the wall. Nothing could have prepared her for the outside. Exiled, unarmed, and alone, she faces a perilous journey into a savage prehistoric world. With nothing but her wits, she sets out into the unknown. Can she find a way to survive, or will the primordial land claim another victim? I would say this one surprised me by its premise and how it kicked it off, and I thought it was actually really, like, the premise itself was a high concept that I was like, how is this going to work? Like, what's going to be the kickoff here? And I hadn't read the synopsis before I just started listening to the book, and so I kind of went in completely blind. And the setup of it being a world that some malfunction of something that sends whole portions of society back millions of years, and then that becomes it's modern but it's prehistoric, you know what I mean? Like, it's in the modern day but we're in the past. It's not like you're in the modern day and the past gets pulled into the present, or there's some amalgamation that happens that it's just the world has evolved to be that, and so you're in this dystopian world that is an alternate world. It's not an alternate world. I mean, it is, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's the world that goes back into the past and has to kind of reconfigure itself and survive within the constraints of, I mean, losing technology. The whole grid goes away, right? So you basically regress society back to survivalist instincts, right? Dystopian fic. And so the premise was decent. Only 20 years have passed, and so there's still like memories of where they've come from, but there's possibly like a generation of children that have grown up, and that's our character Rogue that goes through this. Now, from a prose and flow perspective, I felt like that phase 2 and 3, so Act 2A and Act 2B, again, the exploration phase, the quest, the journey, where she gets, we got the premise here, right? She gets bumped outside of the wall because she steals something, and then punishment is death in this new scenario, right? So death or exile. And so she chooses exile, and again, I'll leave that spoiler free. And then Act 2 is effectively her surviving inside this prehistoric world, and it's pretty much like, it's like a zombie movie with dinosaurs. And the dinosaurs aren't zombies, they're dinosaurs. That premise sucked. But the short, anyways, you know what I'm saying. It's like, maybe not so much my problem with it, but the part that felt like it maybe got too redundant is that, like, all dinosaurs are evil concept, which is not that they're evil. They're just beasts. They're just like beasts trying to survive. But, you know, setting them up as every carnivorous dinosaur is a threat to you because you just become, you know, food to them. It's not far-fetched, but at the same time, it's like, it's very much action movie oriented. Everything is a risk, everything is a threat, and it had that very, very much like that zombie vibe or that Jurassic Park vibe, where she's in that survival instinct mode. Because even like a Walmart gets transported back into the past, so you get like this really interesting juxtaposition of the modern and the prehistoric. Because again, it's not just the people teleported back, and that's the part that works. Is that whole blocks of things just boom got transplanted, and so you have some infrastructure there from the modern era in this world, and I thought that was a really interesting play. So conceptually, I loved it. Not to say the prose I didn't love, but I also I wasn't deep in. This one was more cookie cutter, I would say. It's very much maybe like a YA audience. There were some moments, violent moments, but I mean, a teenager, would be fine. They're seeing worse things on TV at this point and social media. I guess what I can say about that middle part of the book is that that survival part felt like it was just a one through line. It was very simplified. It was simple. Even though there was some flashback moments there that we get to learn a bit more about her as a child and the whole like transfer event. So we get some context there, and we get some other characters that are side characters, but it's, again, non-spoilery. Things can come up, and Higgins really uses that center part to do what the center part is supposed to do in narrative, which is build up the tapestry of the world that you're going to be weaving stories through. And because this is a multi-book series, a lot of setup happens there that is important. She eventually finds someone, and then Act 3 kicks off, and Act 3 is really very much like it's a kickoff to a cliffhanger that's going to set off a couple of the other books that precede it. So it's almost like there was like really heavy world building stuff and character stuff going on in Act 1, and then a lot of culmination of stuff in Act 3, trying to be loose about this, and then Act 2 just felt like an extended action adventure, survival, run and survive, and through a couple different set pieces, and that felt like it was getting a little bit repetitious to me. Again, the flashbacks helped a little bit with breaking that up a little bit, but at the same time, it felt a little jarring at times for me. That's how I would put that. So still, is it a recommend? I mean, it's a short book. It was like a 5-hour, I think, audiobook, something like that. So equivalent of, I calculated via this page here. There's like 1,400 pages, I think, for all of these books. It's maybe more equivalent to each one of these being a novella, possibly. Anyways, a lot of fun.